Let's now recover the topic of the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran, as Iran continues to exercise its legitimate right to defense in the face of the aggressions of the Israeli Zionist entity. And for that discussion, we're going with our next guest, Alberto Garcia Watson, international analyst. Welcome, Alberto, to From the South.
Hello, good afternoon. Glad to be here with you guys.
It's a pleasure to have you with us, Alberto. The conflict is now entering its fifth day. What can you tell us of the context and the impact it will have in geopolitics and the region?
Well, at the moment, this is the fifth day of non-stop bombing back and forth between Israel and Iran. Always Israel starting the whole game and Iran retaliating heavily as they doing with a very, very capable hypersonic and ballistic missiles, and doing a great job actually on the Israeli territory. However, we see also that the damage that the Israeli attacks focus actually are on the population, the civilian population, that actually with the call of Donald Trump last night of leaving the capital, Tehran, we see that millions and millions are now leaving the city scared, afraid that it might be an intervention by the United States that can provoke a massacre in the population and the civilian population of a capital that has over 40 million people.
Do you consider, following the track record of the U.S., that it would intervene as the Israeli regime is calling on them to intervene and is calling senselessly, tirelessly to the U.S. to make part and to use their weapons to reach the far targets that the Israeli weaponry is not able to target?
Well, we see that Benjamin Netanyahu has been begging the intervention of the United States, especially intervention of his great friend Donald Trump, already for the past days, while actually Donald Trump is keeping in a very ambiguous position. If it wasn't for the help that they received from the European Union, NATO members, and the United States, actually, in the first place, Israel cannot keep their operation, the genocide operation on the Gaza Strip. They wouldn't have been able of attacking Hezbollah in southern Lebanon or Yemen, the Houthi Ansarallah movement, or the different movements that we have in the Iraqi territory. They all depend, definitely they depend on the United States specifically. They also have other partners like Germany, Britain, and Germany, Britain, and France, that provides them with F-35 parts like Britain does, or ammunition like France does, but actually they need the United States. The fact that the United States haven't got involved in the war so far is determining actually that Israel is not having the upper hand in this operation. They counted with the support of the United States from Friday on, and so far, 5 days later, we see that in the 10th operation of the Iranian forces, more and more infrastructures in Israel, especially in Tel Aviv, but also in Haifa, are being demolished by the precision of the hypersonic and ballistic missiles from Iran.
You were referring to the damage that Israel is receiving following these operations, that until now, I don't think Israel has ever faced this kind of counterattack coming from the places, because until now we can say that Israel has been attacking, as you were saying, southern Lebanon, the occupied territories in Gaza, without any serious repercussions. But do you think that Iran's response to Israel might encourage all the different resistance pockets that exist in the region that are struggling against and fighting against the Israeli occupation in the different areas in Syria, in Palestine, and in southern Lebanon?
Well, that's what everyone is expecting. The axis of resistance that has been led by the Islamic Republic of Iran, created by the Islamic Republic of Iran, formed, trained, and given the military capacity. Today we would expect it that the different groups that are operating in the area, like the mobilization rapid forces in Iraq, like the Houthis, like the different groups of the resistance in Palestine and Hezbollah, which is actually very, very strong, even though they're keeping very, very quiet since the November ceasefire agreement, but they actually have a capacity. I remember because I was a correspondent in Beirut for a couple of years in the past years, and even Israel admitted that Hezbollah counted with over 150,000 missiles pointing at Israeli territory, which today must probably around 200,000. From that amount, Hezbollah has only used a very few amount of that arsenal during the confrontation last year against Israel. So yes, you're very, very right in the perception that eventually, if we see that the United States and no other country gets involved and Israel is all by itself, we might see that Hezbollah from the north or the Iraqis from the east of Yemen start cooperating together and inflicting heavy losses and great damage in the Israeli infrastructure. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Alberto, for your time. Unfortunately, we don't have time for more, but we can stay in touch in upcoming times to continue analyzing what is happening right now in the Middle East.
My pleasure, anytime.
Thank you for